All right, everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the Black Business School, and I felt compelled to jump in real quick and to have a quick conversation about success. A lot of people seek it. Most people don't achieve it. In fact, if you look around and you really sort of compare most of your friends compare who they are to where they said that they're going to be, most of them are not where they want to be. Most of your friends are not in the place that they would choose to be. If you ask them, did you achieve your goals in life? Did you achieve your professional goals that you had when you were 18? Most of them are going to say no. If you ask them, are you in the relationship you want to be in right now? A lot of people would say no. If you ask them, if you go back in time and talk about all the things that we talked about doing 10 years ago, did you do those things? The answer is no. If you do a test, just do a test, listen to them, and they say, hey, girl, I'm going to lose weight. 6 months later, see if they actually lost weight. Or if they say, yeah, I want to go get this money, I want to go make more money, see if they actually go get more money. Like, see what specific things they're doing to get more money. In fact, when I talk to my daughters and we have real conversations about men. And one of the things I just believe, because I'm an old school Southern black man, is I believe that a man should have goals. I believe that a man should not just have goals, but I believe a man should be a person that has discipline to go achieve his goals, right? So one of the things I asked him to do is to basically look at what he's saying and compare what he's saying to what he's actually doing. I said, look, if you notice a constant disparity between what he says he's going to do and what he actually does, well, he may be a good man, but he's not going to be a successful man. He may be a good person, but he's not going to be a winner in life in terms of getting what he wants. Why? Well, because he's got the big gap, the big cosmic gap. The cosmic gap is the gap between who you say you are and who you actually are. The gap between what you say you're going to do and what you actually do, right? That gap between what you envision your life becoming and what your life actually is. Most people live in the gap. Most people can't jump the gap. Most people don't know how to bridge the gap because nobody teaches you how to bridge the gap. You go to school and they teach you a bunch of stuff that doesn't really matter. They teach you how to fit into a system, but they don't teach you how to be truly successful, because truly successful people don't just fit into a system. Truly successful people are able to break out of a system. You understand the difference? If you are a truly successful person, you don't have to worry about fitting in. Fitting in is what you do when you have no engine of your own. Like, for example, if I'm trying to get a ride somewhere and I don't have a car, then the best thing I can do is get in somebody else's car if they're driving in that direction, right? If I don't have an engine with a motor, then the best option for me is to get an engine or to borrow somebody else's engine, right? To get in their car where they have an engine and I can just ride the momentum behind that engine, right? So that's kind of what happens when you spend your whole life being trained to fit into a system. You're not really being taught to be successful, because successful people can generate their own engines. Successful people can create their own systems. Successful people can find a way around it. So they'll find a way over it. They'll find a way through it. They can't be stopped. They can't be slowed down. If they are slowed down, they simply keep going. They keep moving forward, and they eventually get to their goal. Let me give you an example of a time where I learned a valuable lesson about success and just what success looks like. I used to think success was inspiring and always just like, woo, yeah, well, we're gonna go do it. Yeah, dude, you freaking A, man, let's go do it. Like, I used to really think success looked like that, right? Rah, rah, rah. Let's have a pep rally. Everybody hear a motivational speaker. Everybody screaming and jumping and all that stuff like we in church. And that's part of it sometimes, but the problem is that's literally like less than 1% of the process. As they always say, success is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. 1% pump it up, and 99%, let's drag ourselves out of the bed each morning and do this mundane task we've done for the last 8,000 days in a row. Right? That's what success really looks like, but most people don't know that. It's almost like having a baby. I heard a guy that one time told me, he was talking about being a father, and all these things about being a father and how that's so important. He was proud of that. But the thing was, this was a man who never took care of his kids, right? This is a man who would make babies, but he never raised the babies, right? He would go and meet these girls and get them pregnant, and because that was his thing, I guess. And all these girls had his baby, and all these kids were growing up, but he wasn't actually doing the work. So I kind of had to say to him, I said, to be honest with you, you're really not a father. you're a sperm donor. I said you are caught up in the rah 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 of fatherhood, but you're not caught up in the humdrum difficulties, the challenges, the hurdles, the things that make you pull your hair out as a father. You don't know what it's like to wake up with a baby every single morning for approximately 7,000 days in a row to make sure that baby gets everything they need. You don't know what that looks like. You don't know what it's like dealing with a crazy teenager. You don't know what it's like figuring out, which school your child's going to go to. You don't know what it's like trying to make sure the child gets fed every single day. You don't know what it's like talking to your daughter when her first boyfriend dumps her. You don't know what it's like helping your son learn how to use the bathroom. You don't know any of that. So you don't really know what it's like to be a father. You just know what it's like to get under the sheets and have some sex, right? And ultimately, a lot of people are like that when it comes to success. Success is like motherhood or fatherhood, where you raise the baby to the age of 18, whereas most people only know how to have sex. They only know how to dream about the success. They know about the excitement of it. They know the swag of it. They look at a Barack Obama and they like, oh, look at him, girl. He looks so swag. He's so swagged out. He's so cool. Or they look at a LeBron James and they think it's so great that he's looking fly when he's on the court or whatever and scoring all the points. But people don't really understand the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of consistent hours it takes to get there. In fact, I was talking to somebody who actually knows LeBron James, and one of the things the guy told me that a lot of people don't know, I don't think, is he said, well, LeBron, the reason he's able to play so well at the age of 33, 34 years old is because he spends $1 million a year just on his body. He spends $1 million a year just making sure his body stays healthy and strong. And that's the part people don't get to see. So here's the thing. Most of your friends are not successful. I want you to really think about it. At least 80%, 90%. Actually, scientists say that 92% of all people who have a goal do not accomplish that goal. 92% of people who set goals do not accomplish their goals. There are various reasons why this doesn't work or why it doesn't happen. We can't go into all of them today, but I will go into one that's really important that I want you to kind of walk away with. And this is really important. This is me, I'm relegating myself to OG status. I'm 47 years old. I've accomplished some things. In college, I was the Wall Street Journal Outstanding Graduating Senior. I graduated in 4 years with a triple major in finance, economics, and business management. I had the highest grade point average of all the black students on the entire University of Kentucky campus. I ended up getting a PhD in finance. I was the only African American in the world to get a PhD in finance when I got my degree in 2002. You don't do that kind of stuff by being average and mediocre. You don't do that stuff without a few blood, sweat, and tears, and I really mean real tears, coming out along the way. You don't do that without really questioning who you are along at least once a year, and having to chop down the old version of who you are to build a better version that's more capable of withstanding the challenges in front of you. So one of the things I'm going to share with you is something that I learned when I was finishing my dissertation in finance. I was writing my dissertation on investor psychology. I was writing it about how stock markets work and different trading strategies and theories on investor psychology and stuff like that. It's not a big deal, not a big thing to really care about or talk about, but it's what I did. It was my obsession that year because I wanted to get my PhD. Now, why did I want to get my doctorate, my PhD? At that time, I really wanted a good job, honestly. I'd never had a good job. I'd never made much money. You can see right here, some of you can see it actually, where you see right here's my dissertation. It's called Investor Sentiment, Trading Patterns, and Return Predictability. Presented in partial fulfillment of the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy at the Graduate School of The Ohio State University by Boyce Dwight Watkins, MS, The Ohio State University, 2002. And this is my dissertation committee, Professor Andrew Caroli. I love this man. Professor David Hirschleifer, Professor Jayanta Sen. I love all these guys, and these are all very, very smart dudes. So anyway, as I was working on this dissertation, here's the thing about a dissertation that's very scary, and this is why it was such a powerful lesson in goal setting. A dissertation is basically like over 100 to almost 200 pages of math, right? 200 pages of math, and it's being scrutinized by people with extremely high IQs, with extremely high levels of meticulousness and rigor and analytics, who will chop you down very quickly. I mean, you come in there, you've worked 300 hours on something, and you're very smart. You got your master's degrees and all this stuff, and you've been studying till your eyes fall out, and then they're still in there chopping down every single thing you do, chopping down every single thing you do. And I didn't like it at the time. It was very painful, very disappointing, very uncomfortable, and sometimes very frustrating. But I didn't realize at the time that it was just steel sharpening steel. That's how you operate at the highest levels. You know, my dissertation chairman, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's the chairman of he's the chairman or dean or something of the business school at Cornell University now, one of the top universities in the world. You don't get to that level by being average. You don't get to that level by just accepting the okie doke. So he pushed me very hard. And so anyway, I was trying to figure out how to do this dissertation, and I remember being very stressed out. I remember being just kind of feeling like I was behind, feeling like I wasn't ever going to get there, you know, just thinking, my God, how long am I going to be in school? I really want to get out of school. And one of the people that encouraged me the most was my mother. I remember my mother used to say, you know, she was just a great cheerleader. She would say, you know, well, now you're laying the foundation. Now you're 27, 26. You'll be able to live off of this when you're 47, 46. When you're in your 40s and 50s and 60s, you'll live off of what you're doing right now. You're setting the foundation right now. That's why it's so difficult. And because you're going through the most difficult process you can imagine, you're probably setting a very strong foundation. Now, my mother was absolutely correct, 100% correct. There are a lot of things I can do right now that I couldn't do back then, or that a lot of people can't do because of what I did back in the day. Like they say, you spend a few years living like nobody else will, so you can spend the rest of your life living like nobody else can. You see, so you got to go through hell to go get your own heaven. If you want heaven, you got to go through hell. But everybody wants heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's the big problem. That's why most of your friends, about 92% of your friends will never accomplish their goals, because they want the joy of success, but they do not want the agony. They do not want the stress. They do not want the challenge, etc. The other thing I learned during my dissertation, this is the most important piece of advice I got that actually helps me through life and everything I do. I read a book by some professor. I don't even know who the professor was. And she gave me the most basic piece of fundamental advice that got me through that damn document, which was like, I would call that the document from hell. It was literally that stressful, that annoying. All she said is that you eat your elephant one bite at a time. She said, no matter how you feel every day, just do something. All she said was just do something, just do a little bit. Just do a little bit. I was reading this in the book, and she said, it doesn't matter, even if you only work for a few minutes, just do something every day. Eat your elephant one bite at a time. So don't get all riled up thinking you're going to write it all, get it all done in a weekend. That ain't going to happen. Don't get depressed to where you don't do anything for a long period of time, because that's not going to help you. That's only going to put you further behind. Because there's a lot of people that got to that dissertation stage who 10, 15, 20 years later were driving a taxi cab, still in that pre-dissertation stage. Literally, they call it ABD, all but dissertation. I saw people who got to that point at 28 years old, and at 38, they were driving a cab saying, I'm just making extra money because I'm ABD. And I remember seeing these people thinking, man, I'm 28. I don't want to be like that when I'm 38. So I need to figure out how to get this thing done. And so basically, all I did was what this lady said. She said, a little bit every day, a little bit every day. So I'd say, Boyce, just do a little bit every day. 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 A little bit every day. And if I only did 10 minutes, I didn't get down on myself. I'd be like, well, I did a little bit. I did something, right? And what happened was I just kept chopping away at it. And before I knew it, I was done. Before I knew it, I got to the point where I, finished my degree. And I actually have a picture of myself from when I actually walked across that stage. And I remember I was actually, the day that I got the degree, it didn't hit me that I was the only African-American in the world to get a PhD in finance until I was literally about to walk up the stage. I was in line, about to get my PhD, and I was standing there, and it hit me. I was trying to think about any other Black person I knew anywhere in the country, in the world. The field is not gigantic, so a lot of the people know each other. We go to the same conference. I said, oh my God, I don't know any other Black people. At first I was like, I don't know any other Black men. Then I was like, I don't know any Black people, period, getting this degree right now, anywhere. And I looked, I asked around, I researched, found nobody. And when I realized that I was the only one, it kind of hit me. It was like, oh, That's why it was so difficult. That's why this shit was damn near impossible. Because it wasn't supposed to really happen. In a way, it's like how the bumblebee, the bumblebee is not supposed to actually be able to fly because he's too fat to fly. The bumblebee is, they say, I guess according to the physics of the bumblebee's body, he's so fat that his little wings shouldn't be able to make him fly. But nobody told the bumblebee. So the bumblebee tries to fly anyway. Next thing you know, he's flying. It's almost like when you have those children that are born with one arm and everybody's feeling sorry for them. And they're like, oh my God, the poor baby, she has only one arm. Or two, let's say the baby's born with no arms. I've seen that too. And the baby doesn't know that the baby has a disability. So next thing you know, the baby's learning how to eat, with hold the spoon with their mouth or somehow, or with their feet or whatever, or type, and then they're typing with their toes. Then next thing you know, they're adults and they're driving with their feet because that's all they've ever known is going at it with only, their feet and not their arms. So I think in a lot of ways, if I had known, if somebody had told me, like, oh, well, boys, this is very rare for an African American. There are no other African Americans anywhere in the country who survived their program long enough to actually graduate in the same year as you. A lot of y'all started, but none of y'all finished. That's the thing. Most of these PhD programs will literally kick out at least half of the students before they graduate. Some programs kick out 70% of the students and all the black students. So if somebody had been telling me that well, you're black, the odds are stacked against you, it's going to be really hard, it's damn near impossible, I probably would have been affected by that. I probably would have said, man, well, maybe, okay, it's really hard now. I guess that's because I'm not supposed to be able to do this, right? But instead, my mindset was, this is really hard. I guess I got to step my game up. This is really difficult. I guess I got to find a new strategy. I guess I got to go talk to somebody. I guess I got to find a solution. I guess I got to figure out what's necessary because there's something ain't clicking. I'm the bumblebee. I'm supposed to be able to fly. Why are these wings not getting me off the ground? But if somebody had told the bumblebee, like, no, it's because you're too fat to fly, then the bumblebee will be like, oh, okay, okay, now I get it. Now I know why. Now I'm not going to flap my wings. I'm never going to get stronger wings because I'm not even going to try to fly because you just told me that I can't fly. And that's what they do to black people. They tell you that because you're black, that there's only so much you can ever do. You can never accomplish anything. Every obstacle stacked up against you. And every time you fail, it's because you're black. And there's no way around that whatsoever. So some people use that as a reason to give up and quit. Some people say, well, yeah, of course. Okay, it's because I'm black. So I'm just not going to try anymore. I'm going to take the day off now because I'm black, and being black means I can't do anything anyway. So I might as well not even try. I might as well not even get out of bed. I might as well kick back and smoke this weed and hang with my boys and watch a football game because I'm black after all. And my God, if I go out here in the world and try to do anything, everyone's going to try to stop me. So what's the point in trying? Right? That's what psychologists call that a self-fulfilling prophecy. So to the point here, one of the reasons that 92% of your friends will never accomplish their goals is because they have not learned that simple idea. The simple word is this. This is what I tell my daughters. My daughters, if you ask them, you say, Carmen, Patrice, what's your dad's favorite word? You know what they're going to say? They're going to say consistency, 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 consistency. Consistency is my favorite word on this earth because consistent people get shit done. People that are consistent, it doesn't matter. If it's raining, they're out there being consistent. If it's sleet, they're out being consistent. Snow, they're being consistent. Hail, they're being consistent. You will accomplish more in your life by simply being consistent than you will by doing anything else. There is no rah-rah strategy that will get you further along in your life than that of being consistent. So when I applied that lady's advice, I simply said, okay, I'm just going to be consistent. I'm not going to worry about if I'm behind or ahead or if it feels good or feels bad or if I'm in a good mood or bad mood or things are going well or not going well. I'm not worried about none of that. I'm going to worry about one thing, be consistent. So every day I'd be consistent. I'd be sitting there, whew, God, I don't know the solution to this, but I'm going to be consistent. Oh, okay, look, it's going really well. I'm going to be consistent. Okay, God, oh man, I'm tired. I don't want to do anything today. But no, I got to be consistent. And next thing you know, this 150-page document was done. I had this 150-page dissertation And I swear to you to this day, I look at that and I can't even believe I wrote it. I can't believe I wrote it. And it was so difficult, actually, that I literally, once I got it done and got it signed off on, when they signed it, which means I was officially Dr. Boyce Watkins, I put that thing in a chest, and I haven't opened it since I have not read it. I can barely tell you what's in it because I've not looked at that thing since the day I walked out of that building. It was that tough, but I did it, and it came from consistency. So that's my walk away for you. This is why 92% of your friends don't achieve their goals, is they've never learned the power of consistency. A consistent person with mediocre ability is always going to go further than a very talented person who is not consistent. You can have the extreme talent, and if you're not consistent, then that mediocre son of a bitch who just chops away every day and grinds along is going to outdo you a million times over. It's like if you have two cars, two race cars. One of them's a Ferrari that goes 250 miles an hour. One is a Honda Civic, a 1995 Honda Civic that can only go 100 or at 90 miles an hour, but that it'll probably break down. If those two cars were racing and the slow car is consistent and the fast car only goes really fast for a few hours and then it stops for a couple of days, then it drives really fast and then it stops for a couple of days, the consistent car will beat the inconsistent car despite the amount of talent that's there. So don't focus on your talent. Who cares about your talent? I don't care about your talent. If you ain't consistent, then it don't matter. If you're not consistent, then untalented people will beat you out every time. So if you want to get in that 8%, here's why I wanted to accomplish my goal. The reason I wanted to accomplish my goals is because I said, damn it, I'm a black man. I do not want to go through my life as a loser. I do not want to go through my life feeling like I could have done a lot of great things, but I couldn't accomplish those things. I don't want to go through my life feeling like I didn't reach my potential. I don't want to go through life as a backup dancer. I don't want to go through life as somebody who is always behind. I don't want to go through life as somebody who's feeling sorry for myself. I don't want to go through life as somebody who can't take care of his kids. I don't want to go through life as somebody who, I'm showing you guys some pictures of me when I was little. When I was little, I was an awkward kid. I was very awkward. I didn't have high self-esteem. I really had a hard time kind of fitting into the world. I didn't fit in with white people. They thought I was too black, and I didn't fit in with black people. They thought I was too white. So I was just kind of out there. But, I remember just saying, I'm not going through my life. I'm not going through my life in last place. I'm not going to allow that to happen. I may not be built for first place. I may not be meant to always win everything that I do. But one way I'm going to get you is I'm going to be so consistent that you won't know what's coming at you. You're going to be like, my God, Boyce he may be average, he may be ugly, he may get on my nerves, but damn, that boy's consistent and he doesn't stop. He does not stop. So those are some little pictures of me when I was little and just kind of finding myself. And so that's what I call my running man picture. I'll let you guys on Instagram kind of see it. And so this is literally, my mother said that was my constant pose. She said when I was little, I was always running. And when I got older, I was actually captain of my track team in high school. And so that's my prom picture. That's me with Santa Claus, the black Santa Claus. And that's me with my daughter's mother, actually. I took her to prom. So by that time, I was a high school athlete. And I remember everything that I did. I remember eventually growing into this space where I just said, I don't know what I want to do in life, but I know whatever I do, I'm not trying to have no average life, And so I think for most of you, the reason you even pay attention to anything that I have to say is because you don't want to have an average life either. That the reason why you're here, the reason why you even pay attention to me, because remember, most people ain't going to hear this. Again, 92% of people will never accomplish their goals. 92% of all people will probably never listen to anything that I have to say. And 92% of those people are not even invited to this conversation. This is for the elite 8. This is for the elite 8% that want to go out here and really get it done. This is for the people that are already getting it done. Some of y'all are already being consistent. Some of y'all are already accomplishing your goals. And my job is to be your support, your teacher, your inspiration, whatever it is I can be for you, your resource guide, your OG advisor, to push you and to encourage you to just keep going. No matter how you feel, no matter how dark it is, no matter how far away you feel it is, just keep going, keep being consistent, because what happens is when you're consistent, you start seeing things change around you. Things start to reshape. Opportunities start to unfold. The world changes. The world starts to change. And next thing you know, you're in this special place and you're like, how did I even get here? That's how my life was. That's how my life was. So our life is. I still got a lot of years left, I hope. And so I just wanted to share that. Remember, the key word is consistency. So keep that in mind. And I'm about to get out of here. Just a reminder to you guys, if you actually are interested in, I have a whole program, a whole curriculum on goal setting, overcoming obstacles, time management, all these things I use, all the strategies I use to be successful. If you want to check it out, the first month in the program is free. It's at blackkeystogreatness.com. That's blackkeystogreatness.com. So feel free to go check that out if you want to. Also, just a reminder, don't forget the All Black National Convention coming up September 27th through the 30th. The 2018 All Black National Convention in Philadelphia. That is, if you want to learn more about it, you can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. So I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for hearing me out. I hope that this was helpful to you. You guys have a great day, and I love you. Be good. Peace.